now. Fantastic. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to share this recording with everyone here today, as well as those who are unable to make it, so that everyone has just a reference so that they can visit in case, again, if you have any questions they want to look back on. All right. Cool. So before we get started, we just want to take a minute here at CHC to acknowledge the Gabrielino and Togmo peoples as traditional caretakers of the Los Angeles Basin and Channel Islands. We pay our respect to our ancestors, our elders, our relatives, past, present, and emerging. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a few minutes here and just go over what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to have a great introduction opportunity for you to learn from, again, our team here at Learning for Equity at CHC, but also to give us the opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. We're then going to do an overview of the MasterClass course section, so you have a better understanding of what the components are, so that the expectations are going to be sent. We're also going to talk about the labs and the Capstone projects that y'all be working on throughout the next 10 weeks together. We're going to talk about program logistics, requirements, expectations that have been set, as well as community guidelines. So we're going to review and set some shared ground rules so that we can make the most of our experience together here in the digital virtual world. We're going to talk about just some next steps, and we're also going to just give you all some documents that we're going to ask you to review and send back to us for housekeeping. All right. All right, so I did introduce myself already, but before we get into our scholars introducing themselves, I'm going to ask our team who is on the call with us today to also introduce themselves. And so I am joined today by our assistant director, Mackenzie, our other manager, Denise, and our Alpha E intern / coach, Judith. And so I think we'll pause here and ask Mackenzie, are you able to introduce yourself?
I am. Good morning and thank you. Welcome, everyone. My name is Mackenzie Grow. I'm currently serving as the Assistant Director of our Learning for Equity program, which is our official education arm at Community Health Councils. And I'm just so happy to see you all here. MasterClass is one of our department's flagship offerings. This is our third iteration of the course, and I'm so very happy to have you all here. I know this was marketed as a learning opportunity for you, but I also want you all to know that we are going to be doing a lot of learning from you all. So we invite you every single day that you're with us to please bring your authentic selves. Please ask all the questions that you have. Please contribute in any way that you'd like to, as long as you're not causing harm to others and we're upholding our community guidelines. We're really looking forward to hearing all of the expertise that you all bring, because you do bring expertise from your lived experiences and everything that you've achieved and experienced thus far in your life. So welcome and congratulations. You know, this is a competitive program. We received a lot of applications and we're so very honored to have you all here. So thank you all. Thank you, Anthony.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. Denise, can you jump in and introduce yourself as well, please?
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise. I'm also a program manager within the Learning for Equity team. And I do want to echo everything Mackenzie said and just share my excitement to be holding this space with you all. I read through a lot of your submissions and applications, and I'm just so impressed, really excited to be sharing this space with you all and learning from you, and just kind of taking advantage of this opportunity to learn together. So really appreciate you all being here, and I'm really looking forward to get to know a lot of you more intimately in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you so much, Denise. And Judith, can you introduce yourself as well, please?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Judith. I am a recent grad from Loyola Marymount University, and now I am an intern on the L4E team. Like the whole team has mentioned, really excited to be here with you all and get to see how this program plays out and get to work with everyone. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, team. All right, y'all. So now we're going to ask y'all to introduce yourselves. We did have a great glimpse as to who you were after reviewing your applications. But let's go ahead and share some information with your fellow peers here on the call. And so if you can share your name, right, or would you like to be called, your pronouns, if you're comfortable, of where you're dialing in from, or where are you from, and then your dream ice cream flavor. So it doesn't exist, but it should. And we are able to, if you'd like, go off mute. If you're able to, that would be fantastic. If you want to just take a few moments here and type it in the chat, that is great as well. And so again, your name or what you like to be called, right? Your pronouns if you're comfortable, your location, and your dream ice cream flavor. And feel free, if you want to go off mute, just raise your hand, because I'm here, like, hopefully we get a few of y'all. But if not, again, you can definitely put it in the chat. We'll pause just a minute here. Fantastic. Yes, Yvonne, please start us off.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Yvonne, and you guys can call me Yvonne. My pronouns are she, they. I'm currently in Inglewood, which is where I'm from, if you guys know where the Rams Stadium is, but I live in Berkeley up in the Bay. And a dream ice cream flavor. Has anyone had the Starbucks, the ice white mocha with sweet cream cold foam? I'm obsessed. That's all I get. I know it's really sweet and it's basically just sugar, not coffee, but I would probably make that into an ice cream flavor if I could.
I love that. No judgment on how you enjoy your coffee. Thank you so much. Emilio, please, you next.
So my name is Emilio. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm in the Florence Graham area. It's like north of Watts, west of Huntington Park. And my dream ice cream flavor, I mean, I love matcha, which honestly, I don't know. I think that exists. I don't know, but if it does, on my way.
I love it. So yeah, even if it doesn't exist, something that you must try, right? That's great. Thank you so much. Tamara, please, you're next.
Hi, my name is Tamara, and you all could call me Tamara or Tammy. My pronouns are she, hers, her, and I currently am in LA, but I go to school in Berkeley. And my dream ice cream flavor would also have to be a matcha flavored. I'm sure that they have it already, but maybe a matcha lemonade flavor would be really good.
Thank you. Yeah. Have you had that Starbucks drink? I think they did a matcha. Oh, maybe it was pineapple. I don't know, or lemonade, but I wasn't brave enough.
Oh no, I haven't had it, but it sounds
Okay.
really good.
All right. Thank you so much. Astar, you're next, please.
Hi, my name is Star. My pronouns are she, her, and I am currently in San Pedro because that's where I go to school. And I would have raisin cane ice cream flavor.
Amazing, Astar. Thank you so much for sharing. Natalie, you next, please.
Hi, my name is Natalie Niguez. My pronouns are she, her, and right now I'm located in South Bay, like Los Angeles, but I'll be going up to Berkeley in the fall. And a favorite ice cream or like a dream ice cream. I'm not sure if you guys have tried hot Cheetos with vanilla ice cream, but I used to I used to dip hot Cheetos in vanilla ice cream, and I think this world that would be really cool.
Oh man, that's great. Thank you, Natalie. You know, I've seen hot Cheetos everything at this point though, so I won't be surprised if I see that next at the grocery store. So thank you. And in the chat, we had some submissions as well, y'all. Let me see, Nadira from Harbor City. Dream ice cream flavor would be like a mango peach orange mix. Oh, yum, yes, yes. Add some chamoy and tahini. All right, Joseph here is from South Central LA, and he likes cookies and cream ice cream. All right, Joseph, keeping it classic. I'm here with it. Roberto is him as well, living in South LA, and he also likes cookies and cream ice cream. Okay, can't go wrong with that. We'll have Jacqueline, thank you so much for introducing yourself and sharing your pronouns. If you're able to, also let us know your dream ice cream, if it exists or if it doesn't. All right, yes, out of Berkeley, let's go. Estella, let's see, is located in LA, and her dream ice cream is mocha with cookies and cream. That sounds bomb. All right, Francisco, yes, you next, please.
My name is Francisco, but you guys could call me Pancho because that's like my nickname. My pronouns are he, him. I'm currently in Adelanto, California. That's in like the high desert. And my favorite ice cream flavor is probably cookie dough.
All right, Francisco, thank you so much. Or thank you, Pancho. Appreciate that. Let's see. Heidi is also she's from East LA. Her dream ice cream is funnel cake. Is that a thing? And if it's not, I agree. It should be. Dulce is from East LA, and dream ice cream would be matcha with strawberries. All right, I'm here for all the green tea fans. And I'm sorry if I don't say this name correctly. I would love for you to correct me. Ibrahim, pronouns are he, him. Altadena, dream ice cream would be dragon ice cream. Now, if you're able to come off mic, I would love to know what that is. What is dragon ice cream?
I think I said dragon fruit, but like it's like it's a really nice fruit, and I kind of like the taste of it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm a fan. Thank you so much. All right. And then Patty, I also want to make sure I get your name correct. It's Chanchanock. Is that correct? All right. Thank you so much. And Patty, she, her, from Thailand but lives in LA now. Favorite ice cream is chocolate. Love it. All right, Malika, she, her, located in Long Beach. Dream ice cream is cookie and cream with a mango. All right. Kirian, she, her, Long Beach, cookie dough with chunks. Oh, with chunks, yes. Lots of chunks. I'm here for it. Thank you so much. Yes, ice cream breakfast party. Awesome. All right, a couple more. Emily is from Diamond Bar. She, her, favorite dream cream ice cream would probably be eucalyptus and spearmint mix. Oh my goodness. Yes, thank you. And Lily, pronouns are she, her, located in North Hill. Dream ice cream is cookies. All right, big fan of anything with cookies. I'm here with it. Thank y'all so much. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you, we got everyone. And if we haven't, please just take a few moments. Definitely add it here in the chat, something we can go back on and reflect on. That'll be really great. But thank you everyone for participating. Thank y'all for being active in the chat. Thank you for also going off mic. Really appreciate that, y'all. All right. So now we're gonna just break into a small groups here, just for a few minutes, just about 5-6 minutes here. And so when you're in a breakout room, we're really gonna ask y'all to introduce each other again with names and pronouns. If you're able to come off on camera, that would be even better, so we can start getting familiar with each other's faces. If not, I know some of you are still in school. I know some of you are multitasking. That's fine as well. But as long as you can just engage a bit in the chat, we appreciate that. And then what we're going to do is invite everyone to come back into the main room and just share the most surprising commonality you all have. All right, so what is something that you all have in common? I'm pretty sure that a few of you are going to say you have the same ice cream, right? So let's try to think a little more outside of the box there. And then again, we'll bring y'all back just about 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to pause there just so everyone can see the prompt again. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the breakout rooms. And then again, we're going to go ahead and pull you back in. There shouldn't be more than 5 folks in the breakout room. There'll be mostly about 4 or 5. Alrighty? Cool. I will bring y'all back in about 5 minutes. And we will see you here. Back in. All right, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. I see that we might have interrupted some conversations. And for that, I apologize. I just want to make sure, right, we stay on schedule here today. But it did look like that there were some great conversations happening. So thank you for participating. Let's go ahead and start with group one or room one. So that would be Kieran's, Lily, Nadira's, and Chanchanak. Sorry, again, I'm going to work on that. Anyone like to speak in that group?
Yeah, I can go ahead. Hi, Nadira, she, her pronouns. One thing that we found in common in our group is that Kieran and I were both interested in healthcare or something within the healthcare space. All of us in the breakout room are from like relatively similar places. And also, I connected with Kieran on access to education on topics that are not really spoken enough about in the current education system, like self-reflection and introspection and learning about how to handle yourself in social situations. And having access to that education could be really beneficial to students in the future. So that's kind of what I connected with in the group.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, and absolutely 100% agree with that. Actually, something we are going to touch on in the MasterClass. So thank you. Room two. This would be with Emilio, Heidi, Jacqueline, and Natalie. Anyone like to speak for the group? What's at least one thing you found in common?
So, sorry. So I was just gonna say, like, we all had a unanimous vote, and we all agreed that we like cats more than dogs. No, 4-0. No cat votes. So yeah.
That is so funny. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was more of a dog person until I got a cat, and I just realized how funny they are, how funny and clumsy and just so random. I don't know if I like them more yet. I think I like them equally now. But thank you so much. That's great. Now, group three. So Francisco, Yvonne, Valerie. Anyone like to share for your group?
Yeah, I can share. We came to an agreement that we like dog breeds that we've never had. So we said that one of the breeds that we really like that neither of us have ever had was Rottweilers, or just like big dogs in general. We're big dog people, which is funny that the other group mentioned they like cats. We also said that our favorite subject would be like anything science related, just because like math isn't our thing and English isn't our thing, so science is like a middle ground. And then this isn't something in common, but like I just thought it was funny that we like we're both like basketball people, and Francisco's getting into basketball, but our like teams are like rival teams.
Oh, that's great. Okay, cool. A lot of coincidences. I love that. And I had a Rottweiler, and I loved my Rottweiler. So big, so fluffy, more scary looking than scary. So that's great. Thank you. All right, group four. You have Ibrahim, Malika, Roberto, Tamara. Anyone like to speak for your team?
We all lived in the SoCal area. We all like to watch basketball or other sports on the television, and we all have slippers.
That's great. Yeah, thank you so much. When I moved to LA, one of the most like amazing things, just how involved and like engaged the community was in sports. Like every time, I think like with the Dodgers won and then the Lakers won, like that year where all that happened, fireworks like all the time. I was like, okay, I wasn't even watching the game, but I knew the team won. Thank you. All right, group five. Dulce, Emily, Estella, and Jennifer. Can someone share something y'all found in common?
I could go. Hi, my name is Emily, and the three things we had in common was dogs too. We all like dogs, and then we all like ramen. That was our favorite food. And then I totally forgot the third one. Sorry, there's construction happening in my house, so
yeah, that's all right. That is all right. 2 out of 3 is great. Thank you so much for sharing. Does anyone else want to jump in for the final team? And if not, no worries. No worries. So the third one would be, I think that everyone forgot the third one, which is fine. No problem. We just wanted to share at least one. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for joining us, Danny. I appreciate that you are joining us from a graduation. How exciting. But also do note that this presentation is being recorded, and we will be sharing this out with everyone as well in case you do need to dip or clap or cheer. No worries. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. There we are. All right, y'all. So we heard a little bit already about, the MasterClass. Y'all have likely already participated in an information session or reviewed the marketing material or, talked to someone who was at one of our events, one of our marketing events. So now what we're going to do is just talk a little bit more about what Learning for Equity is and also what MasterClass is. So Learning for Equity, as Mackenzie was talking about earlier, is the official education arm of Community Health Councils. Community Health Councils is a nonprofit organization located in South Los Angeles. And the vision of our organization is better communities for all, right? And we have a very broad definition of what healthcare is. For us, it's not just access to a doctor, it's not just access to a hospital or to healthcare in general. It's also about access to grocery stores. It's also about access to parks. It's also about access to roads, to quality education, to opportunities to live and prosper within the communities that you come from. And so one of the ways that we work to achieve that is through policy and systems change, right? And recognizing that there are systems at play that were built intentionally, right, to keep groups oppressed, to keep groups from being able to flourish. And so to challenge that, one of our strategies is using education as a tool. And so working with community members, right, offering somewhat of a supplemental education opportunity to discuss maybe tactics, strategies that individuals will not usually be, or the individuals not really have access to in a traditional pre-K to 12th grade education system, and that only some students would have access to post-high school. And so what we do through Learning for Equity is we engage with a wide range of community members, individuals who are again in high school, individuals who are in college, individuals who went straight from high school to a career, individuals who never had an opportunity to pursue or finish high school who are working in the community. We work with them and we engage with them to ensure that they equip with the knowledge and the tools to advocate for change within their respective communities. And so one of the ways we do that is also through MasterClass. This class that you're all participating now, right? We went ahead and we put together a curriculum of 8 unique modules that we feel are at the core of what actually make individuals activists. And so we might have, again, I'll touch on this just very briefly, but you might have seen this already. We're going to be taking a class on justice, equity, diversity and inclusion as tools for advancing social justice. We're going to be taking a course on youth activists in the century. So learning from individuals who come from your age group, who've been able to make their own change within their own respective communities, both locally, yes, but also globally. We're going to talk about social movement making in the social era and the art and science of social movements. I know there was a conversation earlier about science being someone's favorite subject or our group's favorite subject, right? But we can also apply science to some of the change-making moments that's happened in history. What has worked, it's almost at this point, right, as science. We're going to be talking about authenticity and trauma-informed practices, right? So tools for cultural competence and effective communication. And we're going to have some articles that we're going to talk about and operationalizing anti-racism tools, again, to advance social justice. We're going to be developing conflict awareness and integrating dialogue-based practices and peace building with the peace building lens into the activist advocacy work that y'all will be doing. And then we're going to lead with community organizing and civil disobedience, right? That good trouble, look about what's happening then in the past, look what's happening now. And then we're going to talk about dismantling systemic racism. So policy implementation and current events. Like, it's great to do, right, the groundwork. It's great for us to do a lot of the advocacy and the movement building. But all of that has to result in change. And most of the change that we see happen today has to be done through policy. So before I pause here, before I continue, I should say, I do want to pause and ask if there are any questions about learning for equity as a team, as a department within CHC, any questions about CHC as a parent organization, or any questions about these areas of study that we're going to be going into together. And if not, no worries. We'll have some time at the end. And then we can also absolutely come back to it at a later time if you need to let it marinate a little bit more. Now, part of what is going to be required for these classes are going to be some material, reading material, and video that's going to be accessible to you via Canvas. And I'll go ahead and do a demonstration on that a little later this morning. But we're also going to be sending you actual physical copies of books, right, for you to engage with as we embark on our 10-week journey. And so thank you for, I want to say most of y'all in your confirmation for providing us with your up-to-date address. I think there are maybe one more other of y'all who I haven't heard from yet who just provided us with the zip code. And so I did email you yesterday, I believe. If you could just take a look and just send us your full address, that way we can go ahead and send you all of the reading material you're going to need for this class. All right. So within MasterClass, you're going to be taking part in learning in real time, right? But also learning in your own time. And so we have identified some speakers and some of the learning modules that you're going to be hearing from. And so I'm not going to get too in depth into who they are. You'll learn a little bit more about them when they lead their presentations. But just wanted to, again, preview a little bit for y'all who you're going to be hearing from, what their background is, and why we thought it would be a great addition to this learning experience. I'm going to pause again just for a minute or so y'all can read. What I will add here is that we have folks who have a wide variety of experience and background and exposure, and we also believe that we're going to learn a lot from y'all. Mackenzie mentioned that earlier, that as much as we intend to share with you, we intend to learn from you. And so I look forward to including y'all's perspectives and experiences in the conversations that we're going to have. All right, and then we have a second slate of guest presenters. So again, folks that we're going to hear from and really benefit from their knowledge, right, and their experiences that they have shared for the MasterClass. All right. And again, we'll go ahead and share this video with y'all in case you do want to pause it and look at it a little more closely or do some of your own research. We're more than welcome to do that as well. But for the sake of time, let's go ahead and push through a little bit more. All right, so MasterClass Labs. So with MasterClass, we're going to again embrace synchronous and asynchronous learning components. And then we're also going to incorporate group work into the work that we do. That is going to be the three major parts that contribute to your learning experience in this course. And so weekly labs, so the time that we're going to spend together in real time here via Zoom is going to be on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. from today to August 11th. And so there will be one group where this may be an exception, but we'll contact you directly. No need to worry about that right now. But please note that again, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we will be meeting in this Zoom room during these times. And there will be separate lab sections of groups of about 5 or 6 scholars each who are going to do work during this time as well. And so we're going to spend some of the time going over some updates, doing some professional development, hearing from subject matter experts and from coaches. And then the rest of the time we have together is going to be for you to use for group work. And so the goals of our labs is to provide hands-on opportunity for students to apply course concepts, including a sense of agency and our capstone projects. And we'll talk about capstone projects a little later this morning. It's also to develop hard skills, advocacy, and social movements building, which I do want to take a step back and say core skills, right? They're all core skills, whether they're hard skills or soft skills, we consider them all as core skills. And then we're further going to build your network not only with each other, but with the CHC team as well. Right? One of the great things about working or participating in MasterClass that is being organized through a community organization like CHC is that we're going to be able to hear from folks who are doing the work that we're discussing, right? And so there is an opportunity for us to introduce you to a member of our team who is, for example, focused on food equity, right? And that's what you want to work your project on. We're absolutely going to be able to do that. So very, again, exciting. And if it's not us, we have a network of organizations that we work with as well that we'll be able to connect you with. And know that we are here to set you up for success. Now, 10 weeks is not a lot of time, I would argue, to really achieve everything that we're looking to achieve. But what we are going to do is set a strong foundation for y'all. You're going to build a blueprint, right, for a community project that we believe you'll be able to leave this program and implement on your own if that was your choosing. But note that throughout this process, right, we're going to be setting you up for success. Subject matter experts are going to provide you with guidance and resources in collaboration with your coaches, right? They're going to be working with you to set a strong foundation for you to build your project on. Your coaches are going to support with the step-by-step development of projects to help create the framework to make sure that y'all have what you need to, as a laptop, do research, to craft a project, to really design the internal and external components of your project. And again, I'm going to go in a little bit more into details, regress. But again, know that you are not at any time throughout our time together going to be alone in this. And that you have folks that you're going to be able to reach out to, and they're going to have folks who they're going to be able to reach out to in case additional support is needed. So who are your subject matter experts? 1 second, please. I'm sorry, I'm over here sounding like not a bot. So you have individuals on the call today who are going to be serving as your subject matter experts. Mackenzie, Denise, and I, as staff within CHC, have our own areas of study that we have really worked on, both in undergraduate and also in graduate school, but also just in our professional work that we've been doing in our community work. And so depending on where you're placed as a group, right, you're going to be able to rely on us, our expertise, and our experiences, again, to help build out your project. In addition to us three folks, we have three internal individuals that we'll be bringing on to MasterClass to also support with the development of your project. We have James, who is a scholar and activist out of UCLA. We have Marianne, who is an assistant professor from Cal Poly Pomona. And we have Gabriella, who is an economic developer. And so them, with the knowledge that they've acquired, with their own experiences, again, will serve as a subject matter expert for this particular, for what would be your group pod. And again, we'll get more into that. I know it's a lot of information. If it at all gets any more confusing, please pause and we can go back into it, or ask me to pause, I should say, and we can go back into it. But there are going to be 6 groups in MasterClass, and there are 6 subject matter experts. And then there are also going to be 6 coaches that work more closely with your groups. So program logistics, requirements, and expectations. So because we are all agreeing to be in the space voluntarily, we do want to make sure we make the most of our time together. And so for us to ensure that we are all on the same page, we are going to be providing everyone with a MasterClass agreement. In that agreement, there's camera usage policy and communication with each other, as well as community guidelines. And so what I do want to say about that is, It is difficult for us at times to work in a virtual space to do some real hands-on collaboration. But we do know, right, just from our 2 years of experience, that it is possible. And what we've also learned through our time together in this panini is that when cameras are on, when folks are on audio, when folks are engaging, right, it becomes less awkward and it becomes a lot easier for us to engage with each other. Now, we also understand that 100% of the time, we're not always going to be there. Maybe we're having a rough morning, we had a long night. And so, oh, I'm so sorry. So there may be exceptions to this, right? But overall, what we're asking folks who are participating in the MasterClass to do is agree to be on camera and agree to be engaging with their respective teams. Now, I also want to add that if you don't have access to a camera, if you don't have access to a webcam, you have unstable internet or need some support with that, we are a resource for you. And so we want to please encourage you to reach out to us if that's the case, so that we can get you a hotspot or we can get you a laptop that has a camera for you to be able to engage with us in this way, right? Community guidelines. So Learning for Equity is a program that encourages young people to use their voices and understand the power that they hold. And you all do hold power. As a participant of Learning for Equity, we encourage you to use your voice and take advantage of the space that's being provided. Now, with that, all of you bring unique perspectives, and we'd be more happy to hear everyone's point of view. And that's also what we're going to be asking y'all to agree to, right? To hear others' opinions, to hear others' experiences, and to try to at least understand their point of view. And we ask all participants to be respectful and mindful of other members. We also encourage you to ask questions and keep an open mind when learning about new topics, right? We might go into some classes together where you're already thinking like, hey, nothing's going to change. We tried that for 20 years, 30 years, nothing has happened. So we are asking y'all again to come with a fresh perspective and really try to listen to what our guest speakers are saying, to what the curriculum and the readings are saying, what the videos are saying, but also, of course, to what your peers are saying. And that is going to be really important for our experience together. And then just some ground rules whenever we're engaging with each other. We always want to use I statements, right? We don't want to speak for others. We don't want to speak for a group unless we're asking y'all to share, right, what you discussed. But for the most part, right, you're going to want to use I statement when you're sharing your opinion or your perspective on something. You're going to want to address the argument instead of the person speaking, right? So no personal attacks. If you fundamentally disagree with someone on their perspective, on what they've shared, on their interpretation of a fact or opinion, then go after that, but don't go after the person. You're going to want to step up when you're being asked to, but also take a step back when you realize that you're taking a little too much space. Or be okay when we ask for someone else to share, right, instead of you. Just note that, again, we're trying to make our space as inclusive as possible. We have one mic, and so we are often going to use the raise hand feature to ensure that we get to hear from everyone. But what we don't want to do, right, is talk over each other. We encourage students to ask genuine questions that will help further their understanding along with their peers, right? We've said this before, there is no such thing as a dumb question. We would please welcome all questions you may have, because chances are is if you're asking for clarification or clarity on something, someone else might have the same request. So please ask questions at any time, all the time, the duration of our time together. And then we all come from different backgrounds, which will affect our perspectives of life. But we ask that all students are respectful of others' opinions. So you'll see this theme consistently, right? Of respect, of mutual respect and understanding. Please, let's go ahead and embrace that. Then we have Elmo. Enough, let's move on. There are going to come times, I would say sometimes pretty often, where we're just not going to agree. And the best thing to do is to move on. And when we move on, we'll go ahead and let that in the past until there's a time for us to, again, revisit it. And I have no idea why I keep doing that. So I am so sorry. I'm literally pressing enter and then it gives me issues. But what is said here is the last one, right? Is what is learned here. I'm sorry. What is said here stays here, but what is learned here leaves here, right? And so we definitely don't want to bring up without someone's consent. I know, Denise, without someone's consent or approval, right? Something that they've said in confidence with this group. Rather, what we want to make sure that the lessons that we discuss together, right, that the discussions that we have is what we leave with. Any questions so far on the ground rules, on the community guidelines? And again, we'll be sending this to you by email because we are going to ask that you actually sign them virtually and agree to them. So I'm going to pause there before we progress. Cool. And again, if at a later time you do need some clarity or you're not sure if it might violate what either the ground rules or community guidelines, let us know. But before we progress, I also want to ask, is there anything y'all think we should add to our ground rules? Anything that y'all think that should be fundamental for a course like this? We are going to get into some very difficult topics where there will be a difference of opinion, and which some folks might resonate personally, and maybe have a little more of a harder time with some of the discussions. If not, that's right, we can move on. Cool. All right, we'll move on. All right, and if anything comes up, right, or if it becomes a case where maybe something is in the middle, we're in the middle of a discussion and we're like, hey, we should probably avoid this, or we should probably do this more, then what we can do at that time is reintroduce it for the group. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so here is a calendar of events, y'all. So there are going to be weekly assignments that are going to have to be done by the end of the week. So we're going to release modules for y'all to engage with on your own time on Monday mornings. And the expectation is by that Sunday, the following Sunday at 11:59, that you wrap up all of the assignments on Canvas. Again, the Canvas is going to include the reading, it's going to include a video recording, and it's going to include some assignments for y'all to reply to share your thoughts, and to process critically some of the concepts that are going to be introduced. And then on Thursday mornings, what you're going to do, as you'll see here on June 16th, is you're going to start working on your Capstone project with your lab pods. All right, so the Zoom platform is for our time together, professional development, group work, lab work. The other Canvas platform is for you to really do on your own time. But the expectation is the concepts that you're discussing, that you're learning within Canvas, you're going to be able to bring them to us in our lab pods, which means that even though you have a few extra days to wrap them up after Thursdays, we ask that you at least do the readings, at least some of the readings, so that we can apply some of what you're learning into the work that we're going to be doing together. And it's also going to be an opportunity for y'all to ask clarifying questions. What did Stacey Abrams mean when she said this? Right? Well, I'm a little confused about this theory that comes with community activists. Can you share a little bit about that? And so you'll have that space to do that. And, we're going to really encourage you to do that. But for the most part, again, you're going to do a lot of that learning on your own and bring your questions to us on our lab pods on Thursdays. I did receive a question if the first class is on June 23rd. No, the first official class is today, it's orientation. But our next Thursday, June 16th, is when we're going to do our first group work. And so this calendar might be a little confusing, right? It's up, down, up, down, up, down. So June 9th, June 16th, June 23rd, June 30th, July 7th, July 14th, July 21st, July 28th, August 4th, August 11th. All right. And again, we'll send this to y'all so you have everything up front. Capstone projects. All right, y'all. So we mentioned that you're all going to be placed in the respective groups and that all of your subject matter experts have an area of expertise that they're going to be able to work with you on to build a project. And so there are 6 different projects that we're going to have that are going to have these very overarching capstone topics. We're going to have a group that's going to build a project around economic resiliency. We're going to have a second group that's going to build a topic around public health and wellness. We're going to have a third group that builds a topic on mental health. We're going to have a fourth group that does one on education. We're going to have a fifth group that's going to either do migration justice or food equity. And then we're going to have a sixth group that does the topic relating to policy and politics. Now with that, I do want to say that it's a big chance that we're going to have some overlap, right? That there will be some areas that you think is mental health, right? But that you could definitely see an education program being part of it, right? Or say you can also have a background, let's say, in public health, but you could place in a program or in a group that does economic resiliency. That's okay for us to get a little creative with how the topics are being built, all right? But overall, we do want your final capstone project to be within this particular area of study. It's going to give us a nice variety of different topics. It's going to give y'all an opportunity to address different disparities within our community, but it's also going to give everyone the opportunity to learn from each other. And so, be comfortable with the fact that you might be placed in an area that you don't have too much exposure or experience in. That's absolutely okay. That's why you have subject matter experts. That's why you have coaches who are going to help guide your experience and guide your research as well. And I did not include a slide on coaches, and for that I apologize. But I should note that your coaches are all going to be former participants or alumni, right, of MasterClass from last year, with one exception being Judith, who however has already participated in a MasterClass and who'll be applying a lot of what she learned as well within her respective group. So everyone who's going to be supporting you in the development of your project has been through the curriculum at least once. They have knowledge, they have experience, and they're going to be able to also reach out to your subject matter experts in the cases in which they do need a little bit more support. So again, setting you up for success, and you're not doing this by yourself. Any questions on capstone projects so far? Because we have one more slide on this, or the calendar, or anything that we've discussed thus far.
Will there be like a rubric for a project?
Yes, thank you. Great question. So we're actually going to provide you weekly with your project assignments, and also with expectations as to what we're looking for y'all to complete step by step. So yes, thank you for asking. And actually, let's jump into that now. In developing your project, right, you're going to have 5 capstone assignments. 5 capstone assignments are going to be spread across the 9 weeks, so excluding today. Your first project is going to be deciding on your subtopic, right? You have your general topic, let's say education. So now as a group, you're going to decide what area within education do we want to focus on? And then you're going to start working on a landscape analysis. You're going to do research as to what other organizations or what other individuals have done this particular area. And then from there, right, you're going to have a firm foundation as to where activism needs to occur or what more research needs to happen. A second assignment you're going to have is you're going to be doing informational interviews as a group, identifying, again, individuals, organizations who've done some of this work, asking them maybe what worked well, what hasn't, what are they working on next, and how can you in your project be of support. Your third is going to be on policy and system change engagement. So we're going to talk about in one of your modules, what are some strategies for change that have occurred in the community, again, based on the arts and science of this field, what has worked almost all of the time. And then you're going to develop your own engagement plan for your group for this particular area that you're working to address. We're going to talk about conflict analysis in one of your projects, recognizing that almost everything inherently is political and polarizing in the US, even in areas where some would argue is, shouldn't be, like healthcare. and gun violence. But you're going to want to be able to create a conflict analysis to help refute some of the claims or provide a rebuttal to some of the arguments from the other side. And then we're going to do a media advocacy campaign, right? So you've done the research, right? You know the talking points, you know what needs to happen. Now, how do you make it happen today? And what are some cool tools for engagement that you're going to be able to incorporate into your work? And so again, all of these are going to have their own step-by-step guides. We're going to go over them with your coaches. They're going to help develop this. So it's nothing that you're going to be doing alone, even if it's your first time doing it. There will be support. And then let me just pause here. In the case that we have to miss a day of meeting, we'll meet with our group another day. We can make it. Yeah, that's a great question on this. All right. So we talked about synchronous learning, which is going to be happening with our lab pods on Thursdays from 9 to 11. There are also, though, maybe days, right, or certain weeks where you decide as a group, like, hey, we really need to just wrap this up, right? It's almost due. And so can you meet on Friday? Can you meet on Saturday morning? Can you meet on Sunday evening, Tuesday night, whatever you decide as a group? You know, that's what you need to do. So if you can't make it on a Thursday, but you know, you're telling your group like, hey, I can't be there this Thursday, but I'm free on Saturday. You know, can we make that work instead? That's fine. That is absolutely fine. But again, we're still going to have this Thursday space available for us to meet because we're also going to be doing some professional development as well. But there is almost, I would say, an expectation that some of the work that needs to be done is not going to be achieved just on Thursdays. And if you're comfortable with meeting with your group online and by email, you don't even need to have a Zoom call, that works. Some teams may want to meet in person because they're all located in the South Bay. That's fine. Some groups are just going to set a Zoom call, I don't know, on a Tuesday for an hour to check up on each other to make sure they're making progress. That's fine as well. There's not a lot of guidelines on that on our end, why we want to encourage you all to be creative and to be responsible in the way that you want to get your project done. All right. Any other questions? Cool. And please don't overthink this. It's something to be fearful of. It's going to be, I think, a great opportunity, right? A lot of the initial feedback we've gotten, especially from our first cohort, was that they really enjoyed it. And some would even say that it was the first group project that they did enjoy. And a lot of it is because it's going to be guided by your own interests, right? Areas that you feel particularly strong or passionate about. So, you know, keep that in mind as you prepare to be placed in your groups and to do some great projects in that. Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. So let me pause real quick, actually, just to explain this again, because I don't want it to get confusing. On Thursdays from 9 to 11, we're going to meet here, right? There's going to be time allocated for group work. There's also going to be time allocated for us to do some professional development and for us to hear from some subject matter experts, just get a better understanding of the topic as a whole. But on Mondays, so beginning next Monday, your class is going to go live on Canvas for you to do work on your own time as individuals. So let me go ahead and stop sharing, or let me share a new screen real quick here. So Canvas is going to be pretty simple for you to navigate, and we're going to send you all your login credentials as well. So you don't have that yet, but this is what's going to look like. Every week, you're going to go to your modules. There's some orientation information here, information about how to use Canvas if this is your first time. And then week 1, or week 2, I should say, sorry, beginning next Monday, it's going to be your course on Jedi. And so you're going to see what's going to be due that week, right? You're going to have the videos that you're going to need to watch, the readings that are going to be required, some suggested reading, right, if you're interested, and then the assignments that you're going to have to complete by that Sunday. And you'll see that they're not very difficult assignments. It's a way for us to just confirm, right, that you're processing some of the material that's been presented. This one, for example, is writing the Jedi statement. And there's the more background again to refresh that. And then here's a prompt, 5 to 6 sentences to create agenda statement. And then here's a rubric as to what we're going to be looking for to ensure you include when you do this assignment. And so this is what we'll see on a weekly basis, right? And then the following week, you're going to see the second module is going to be, oh, sorry about that. You're going to see that the second module has been posted, so you can do your class of Youth Activists of the Century, right? And that's about it. These next week, Monday is when you're going to start module 1. Next Thursday is when we're going to get together and start Capstone Project 1. Module 1, Canvas, learning that you're doing on your own time, readings that you're going to be able to bring right to our classes, ask for clarification, be able to elaborate and apply right to your Capstone project. Well, your module assignments due that Sunday. And then we have separate assignments that are related to your Capstone project as a group. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, sorry, let's check out. Great. Any questions on that? I want to make sure it's not confusing. We'll go over it again next week to make sure that there's clarity. But does that make sense to folks? If I can get a check on the chat, you know, what might work. Cool. Cool. All right, cool. So then that's Canvas, y'all. Nothing too difficult. Again, pretty easy to navigate, and we'll be available to help support you with that as well. All right. Well, that is actually all I have, y'all. That is all I have. I'm gonna pause here real quick to ask Kinsey, Denise, Judith, anything you want to add before we open it up for more questions and bring it to a close.
I don't have anything else to add, Anthony. Thank you so much.
Got it. Awesome. All right, y'all. So then before we close, I just want to leave this open again. Ask if you have any questions, anything that you want me to go back on, anything you want me to verify or clarify, I should say, anything before we close our first meeting together. That's a great question. If you already have a Canvas, would be given a course code? No. So the answer is no. You're going to be giving instructions on how to log in using your personal email address. So the email address that you provided to us. And then what we're going to do is make sure that your course is already connected to your account. So thank you for asking that question. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.